Look at your energy stories for the second week of March 2024. Well, it seems like EV charging may get a bit faster as EV charging startup Gravity Mobility just cut the ribbon on the fastest public charging station in the U.S. This Midtown Manhattan station is in a parking garage, and it's designed for EV owners and fleet operators such as Uber and Lyft. These things are fast. At 500 kilowatts, they can offer 200 miles of range in 5 minutes. If your car can take that level of speed, that is, and few can. A December 2023 Motor Trend charging survey put the Hyundai Ioniq 6 at the top of the fast charging class with 193 miles after 15 minutes of charging. Most battery systems today can't absorb that much power that quickly. The cells and management systems simply aren't designed for it. But that will change as battery companies continue to tweak their chemistries. And to that end, Samsung SDI just rolled out a roadmap to commercialize its battery tech to accommodate ultra-fast charging by 2026, going from 8 to 80% state of charge in about 9 minutes. It also plans to offer an all-solid-state mass-produced battery by 2027, increasing density by 40% over its current model and boasting 900 watt-hours per liter, which would give it the industry's highest density. For context, batteries have increased in density considerably, from about 55 watt-hours per liter in 2008 to 450 watt-hours per liter for the best ones by 2020. Samsung also plans to mass-produce a battery by 2029 that will offer up to 20 years of cycle life. Vervo Energy, the enhanced geothermal company that supplies 3.5 megawatts of energy to a Google data center in Nevada and is currently drilling boreholes to support a 400 megawatt geothermal project in Utah, just raised $244 million in new funding. Vervo's recent technical paper demonstrated growing efficiencies and falling costs as new boreholes are completed, exceeding initial DOE projections. The Midwest grid operator MISO announced Tranche 2 of its four-part effort to bolster infrastructure to improve reliability and reduce curtailments. Tranche 1 cost $10.4 billion, and Tranche 2 will further up that ante at an estimated price tag of between $17 and $23 billion. It includes several planned 765 kV high-voltage transmission lines traversing Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, North Dakota, and Missouri. In MISO West, which includes Minnesota, Iowa, North Dakota, Wisconsin, and Michigan's Upper Peninsula, 20% of facilities are overloaded, with annual curtailments reaching north of 15%. MISO may also need to think more about fire risk, as utilities, high winds, and dry undergrowth create an increasingly volatile and potentially costly mix in a changing climate. An Oregon jury just ordered PacifiCorp to fork over $42 million to victims of wildfires on Labor Day 2020. And last year, another jury found it negligent for not preemptively cutting power to customers despite warnings from fire officials, penalizing it for about $90 million. Then we come to Texas. Last week, I noted that XL Energy had received a legal notice suggesting its equipment ignited the state record 1 million acre Smokehouse Creek fire. Since then, a Texas A&M Forest Service investigation found that power lines ignited that fire as well as the 140,000 acre Windy Deuce fire. XL acknowledged its equipment was involved in the first blaze, but was not aware of allegations related to Windy Deuce. The language of the A&M report suggests trouble for XL, commenting that the pole, quote, appeared to be decayed at the base, unquote, toppling into a grassy area. Further, A&M said the Windy Deuce fire was caused by a power line that, quote, ran directly through the top of a small tree, unquote, made contact with limbs, and with that contact led to the blaze. And finally, the Energy Information Administration reports that the U.S. produced more crude oil than any nation at any time for the past 6 years in a row. Crude oil production in the U.S., including condensate, averaged 12.9 million barrels per day in 2023, breaking the previous U.S. and global record of 12.3 million barrels per day set in 2019. The EIA commented that the 2023 record is unlikely to be broken in the near term. Saudi Arabia's state-owned Saudi Aramco recently scrapped its plans to increase production capacity, and they'd be the closest contender. If the Biden administration is set on crippling the domestic oil and gas industry, as some have alleged, it surely is doing a very poor job. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.